we have the perfect dessert for everyone in your family. One dish, one way this week. We've got fruit salsa with cinnamon chips to dip in there. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to One Dish, Two Ways, and today it's all about fruit salsa and cinnamon chips. So we're going to start with how to make the chips because they're going to take a little bit of time in the air fryer. So I have two different forms of chips here. And at the end of the video, I will give you other ideas of what to do with the fruit salsa. This is just a regular flour tortilla for Joe. And this is a whole wheat lavash bread for me. So we are going to put a little bit of, maybe I lost that in when I got it out. It just seems weird. We're going to put a little bit of water on these only so that the cinnamon will stick. You could do a cinnamon sugar mixture, but I figure this fruit is going to be sweet enough. I don't need to do that. So I just have a little bit of water in here, a little bit of a little brush, and I'm just going to spread the water on so that the cinnamon has something to stick to. You could use butter if you wanted. You could use oil if you wanted. Whatever you would like to do, but we're using oil today. And I'm just going to sprinkle on some of this. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. There you go. Some of it, just eyeballing it. And then I'm going to put the water on the lavash bread. So you could use, any kind of avenue that you want as far as to make the cinnamon chips. If there's another, kind of tortilla that you like, or instead of lavash bread, you could use pita bread. Whatever you might have at home, you could use. So sprinkle it on. And then I'm just going to use a pizza cutter to cut the tortilla and the lavash bread into some chips, if you will. And you cut them in any way that you want. And I'm going to actually cook them, or have Joe cook them, in the air fryer. So once I get these cut up, he'll put them in. We're going to start at 5 minutes because I have gotten these too burnt before. So you don't want to do that. You just want them to be crispy. You don't want them to be burnt or anything. Okay. And this one, actually, lavash bread has a natural seam here. I'm just going to flip that. You see, I'm flipping it over cinnamon side to cinnamon side, and that way you're not getting all of it all cinnamony. So, and probably just cut this in half. So whichever way you would like to do it, however many you want. I just know we're going to have two trays here. And I just have the air fryer from Pampered Chef because I used to sell Pampered Chef. So you use whatever fryer, and this one goes on 400 degrees. So like I said, I'm going to have him start with 5 minutes, and then we'll go from there. Perfect. And I'm probably going to need to put a few of mine on his. He can have these too. I'm just showing you two different ways to do it. And we'll just leave those two and cook those in a little bit. Can you put those in the air fryer? On the air fryer setting for 5 minutes. And then we're going to talk about the salsa part of it. So this is the basis of when I sold Pampered Chef. I sold it twice, years ago, and then I sold it a few years ago. Love the products. But it's based off of the appleberry salsa that Pampered Chef had, that recipe. I'll link that recipe, but I'm actually not going to use that recipe. It's just kind of like my example, if you will, because right now it's in Central Illinois, June, and strawberry season is in full season, and that just sounded good. It's basically like a smaller version of a fruit salad, but I thought, oh, this will be so great, and I knew that one of the vendors at the market yesterday was going to have fresh strawberries. We have some, but we don't have enough to make salsa. And then you also have kiwi in it, so I've already cut up pineapple, and I've got the kiwi in there. I thought about the gold kiwi because it's delicious also, but I wanted the color differences between the strawberries, the pineapple, and the green kiwi, which is why I chose those three. I'm not using apple today because I just want these kind of flavors. You can do anything with this that you want. So you can adapt it to what fruit you have. You could also, if you don't have fresh pineapple, but you have maybe the other two and you're like, oh, that sounds good, use some canned pineapple. Just drain it a little bit. You might have to add a little sweetener to it, but you can use that too. So don't feel like you're limited to just these. But before we do that, it occurred to me that I've never shown you how to choose the right pineapple. And I learned this years ago. I'm a talker, if you haven't noticed already. And years ago, I saw this woman like looking over all the pineapples, excuse me, and she was pulling these leaves from the center. So I asked her, I said, so why are you doing that? And she goes, well, if you pull it and it doesn't have a lot of tension on it, then that means it's fresh and ready to go. And if you have to really pull on it to get it out, that means that it's not fresh. So this is your tip. And I had a lady behind me in the grocery store 3 weeks ago ask me the same question. How did you pick that pineapple? So I'm going to show you. So if you look at this, that looks like, oh, Sheila, this is pretty icky. I just cut this pineapple up, but I wanted to show you this. But if you go to the center, you see how easy that was to take out? Well, that one's not, but that means that it's ready to go. If you want one that's not going to be ready for 4 or 5 days, then look for ones that, have. That's why you'll see these all over the place, because other people are doing that trick. So that's how you know. And it has never steered me wrong at all. If I can easily pull it, it means the pineapple's done. And as soon as I get into it, it's good to go. So there's your tip of the week. If you get nothing else out of this video, that will save you on how to pick a pineapple. Don't ask me about a watermelon. I'm not very good at that. So I decided I do want it to be little tiny pieces like salsa. Now, some people will add the savory, might add a jalapeno in there, but we're doing sweet because we have the cinnamon chips to dip in it. So I'm going to pulse it in our food processor. I'm going to start with the pineapple and kiwi, and I'll do the strawberries later. And the reason I don't want to do them all at once is if you put too much in here, you're going to get a lot of action happening here, but not up here. So I want it to be a little more consistent. So I'm not going to fill this super full yet. I'm going to do it in batches. So I'm just going to pulse it on low to kind of get a feel for it. This is just the Ninja. So whatever kind you have, just pulse it. Don't try to go full on yet. Here. Oh, it's looking good. Boy, I can already smell those cinnamon chips. That's crazy. So I'm going to pulse it one more time and we're going to look. Actually, the green seems to be phasing out. You really can't see the green. You can just see the seeds of the kiwi. But that looks good to me. That looks like salsa to me. So we're going to dump it into this bowl. I love my clear bowls. Okay. Oh, of course I made a mess. Why would I not have made a mess? Okay. Next. So see, the kiwi just kind of dissolved in there. You can really hardly even tell if the kiwi's in there. So maybe my ratio of kiwi to pineapple was not a very good one, or the kiwi was cut up smaller than the pineapple. And so I think that it just got more pulse than the pineapple. So note to self, we're still going to get the flavor of it, but note to self, don't do it that way. Okay, let's do the pineapple or the strawberries. So we're just going to pulse again. This probably won't take as long because, as you see, they're already pretty small. Thank you, Joe. Maybe that's it. Oh, my goodness. What do you think? One more pulse, Joe? Okay. Let's see if I can do this one a lot better. Joe's behind the camera shaking his head. I get going so fast sometimes I just start dumping and I'm really bad about paying attention. Oh, this smells so good. Between the cinnamon chips and these fresh strawberries. And the lady at the market, she goes, we've had a lot of rain, so they're a little bit soft. I was like, that's perfect because that's what I need. I'm going to be pulsing them up anyway. Now, to add a touch of fresh to it, we need to add a little bit of lemon juice. Now, what you can do is I tasted a strawberry, I had a piece of kiwi, and I tasted the pineapple before I did all this because I wanted to see if everything was sweet enough. If it's not, you have a couple different options. You could add a little maple syrup to it. You could add sugar. I think the sugar would be hard to dissolve unless you're going to let it dissolve. We're going to try this immediately. Or you could add a little bit of jam or jelly to it that you might have. In that case, you could also add another flavor, maybe a blackberry jam or something like that to change it up. But as you can see, that little bit of pulsing that we did it gave it a little bit of liquid, which you want in a salsa. But like Joe said, we want a little bit of lemon juice, because when we were at the store yesterday, we were talking about it. He said, yeah, we need a punch of that lemon, because you really want a lemon sometimes can brighten things up. So I've got half a lemon here, and I'm going to put it in my lemon squeezer, lemon lime squeezer. I'm just going to squeeze it out. So Joe just, let's go ahead and move all this over here. Were they not ready yet? Is that why you? Okay, so we're just going to stir this up. Now, while those are cooking, let me move this. Here's some other ideas of what you could do with the fruit salsa. You can put it on ice cream or nice cream, which if you don't know what nice cream is, that is just blended bananas to make like your ice cream, and then you can add different flavors to it. You could put this, I really like sometimes my greens with some fresh fruit and then a drizzle of vinegar, so you could do it that way. You could also, help me, Joe, what are some other ideas between the ice cream? You could do a waffle bowl with the ice cream and then the salsa. Yes, that's what I was trying to think of. It's a shortcake. So like strawberry shortcake, because this has already got your juice and stuff, and it would be a play on that. Or you could do it like a banana and then put a little bit of ice cream and some of this drizzled on top of it and maybe a little bit of chocolate sauce, and you've got like a mock banana split. So that would be perfect too. So many things you can do with this. It lasts in the fridge for 3 or 4 days. So, and it could also go on oatmeal. So that's another version, especially at night. If you want something sweet, you could do it with your, oh yeah, pancakes or waffles. Yeah, good. So we will be right back as soon as those cinnamon chips are done, and we're going to give this a try. See you in a second. We're back. The cinnamon chips are ready. So what was the total time it took?
8 minutes.
8 minutes, okay? So these obviously are darker because they're started out darker because they're whole wheat lavash bread. So these are those. And then these are just the regular flour tortillas. Nice and crispy. I mean, he just took them out, and yeah, they're a little warm to the touch, but they're not that hot that we can't go ahead and try the salsa. So this is the finished product on the salsa. So darn good. So come on, Joe, let's try a little bit of it. It's so crispy. Sweet, but not overly sweet. No sweetener needed. You get a little cinnamon from the chips. Well, what's your thought?
This is the first time you used the pineapple?
Yes.
It kind of tarts it up a little bit, but it's good.
Good.
You get the strawberry.
The kiwi.
And you get that little bit of tartness on the back side of it.
Which it might actually be the kiwi. Because you're not as used to kiwi as I am. But this is phenomenal. And I can't wait to eat a little bit more of this. So thank you guys so much for joining us. And we will see you next week. If you like what you see, if you want to subscribe and like or share it with others, that would be fantastic. We hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.